Nagsasagawa po ngayon ng press conference sa Malacañang kaugnay ng sitwasyon sa Mindanao sa gitna ng pinaiiral na martial law. Panoorin po natin.
And new media continue a flood of information. Mindanao Hour will provide carefully vetted news from authoritative sources. We will be joined on regular basis by the appropriate resource persons. At this point, we'd like to begin by giving you a PowerPoint presentation on the situation in Mindanao. Martial law in Mindanao. Next. Through Proclamation number 216, President Rodrigo Duterte declared martial law on 23 May 2017 for 60 days in Mindanao, for 60 days on the grounds of invasion and rebellion. Next slide. Why martial law? The Maute terrorist group has taken over a hospital in Marawi City, Lanao del Sur, established several checkpoints within the city, burned down certain government and private facilities, and inflicted casualties on the part of government forces, and, to the point, started flying the flag of the Islamist State of Iraq and Syria in several areas, thereby openly attempting to remove from the allegiance to the Philippine government this part of Mindanao, and to deprive the chief executive of his powers and prerogatives to enforce the laws of the land and to maintain public order and safety in Mindanao, and this constitutes the crime of rebellion. And the recent attack shows the capability of the Maute group and other rebel groups to sow terror, cause death, and damage to property, not only in Lanao del Sur but also in other parts of Mindanao. What is Maute? The Maute group is a local terrorist group led by the Maute brothers of Maranao descent. They saw terror in Mindanao and had been involved in several violent attacks in Butig, Lanao del Sur, and mass jailbreak in Marawi City. It has pledged allegiance to the ISIS. And what is the ISIS? The Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS, led by Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, started as a splinter group of the Al-Qaeda. It aims to create an Islamic State called a Caliphate across Iraq, Syria, and beyond, claiming religious and political authority over Muslims worldwide. ISIS actions have been characterized by extreme violence. The legal basis to declare martial law. Section 18, Article 7 of the Constitution states that in case of invasion or rebellion, when the public safety requires it, he may, President, for a period not exceeding 60 days, suspend the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus or place the Philippines or any part thereof under martial law. The Administrator. The Martial Law Administrator, the Department of National Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana, is designated as the Administrator of Martial Law in Mindanao. Next. What can the public expect? The declaration of martial law in Mindanao. Number one, it does not suspend the operation of the Constitution. Number two, it does not supplement the functioning of the judicial and legislative assemblies. Number three, it does not confer jurisdiction on military courts over civilian, where civilian courts are able to function. Also, any arrest, search, and seizure where martial law is effective, including the filing of charges, shall comply with the revised rules of court and applicable jurisprudence. The rule of law and human rights should prevail in the place where martial law was declared and effective. Next. Rights of civilians in checkpoints. Given the declaration of martial law, a number of checkpoints and roadblocks in Mindanao are expected to be put up. Advisory on checkpoints as follows. A checkpoint must be well lighted, properly identified, and manned by uniformed personnel. Upon approach, slow down, dim lights, and turn on cabin lights. Next, never step out of the vehicle. Next, lock all doors. Only visual search is allowed. Next, no need to submit to a physical or body search. Next, you are not obliged to open the glove compartment, trunk, or bags. Next, ordinary routine questions may be asked. Be courteous but firm with your answers. Next, keep your driver's license and car registration handy and within reach. Lastly, report violations immediately. The situation in Marawi. As of 6 p.m. on the 28th of May 2017, civilians killed by local terrorist groups, 19. Civilians rescued, 390. Enemy killed, 61, confirmed by body count, 42. Confirmed by eyewitnesses, 19. Recovered high-powered firearms, 37. Recovered low-powered firearms, 4. Situation also in Marawi. As of 6 p.m., 28 May 2017, government's casualties: killed in action, 15 AFP, 3 PNP. Wounded in action, 61 AFP, 3 PNP. What is the current focus of the operations? Number 1, the cleaning of Marawi of militants still in the area. Number 2, the rescue of trapped residents. Number 3, the recovery of civilian casualties and victims. Of course, this is not in order of priority, but all of these are to be addressed. Next. Situation. The AFP and PNP also belies reports of checkpoints being conducted by uniformed elements without badges or identifications. These reports, if true, may be unauthorized armed elements and should be discreetly documented and reported. Checkpoints follow strict protocols and are strictly complied with. Next. Government interventions. To date, a total of 1,172,725 pesos worth of assistance has been provided to affected families in ARMM, all of which has been provided by the department through DSWD FO 10 and 12. As of today, there have been 12,509 families, or 59,665 persons, displaced in Regions 10 and ARMM, of which 1,018 families, or 4,278 persons, are still staying in 14 evacuation centers and staying outside the evacuation centers with their relatives or friends.